Good evening, everyone, and thank you for being here at the draw ceremony for the Fed Cup by BNP Paribas finals that will be held in Budapest between the 14th and the 19th of April this year. We also welcome the people who are following the draw through live streaming on TV or at fedcup.com. We would like to thank the National Sports Agency and the Hungarian Tennis Association for their considerable support in helping us to launch the World Cup of Tennis here in Budapest. We'd also like to thank the captains and representatives of the 12 nations that will be competing this April, all with the aim of being crowned the world champions. And thank you to our sponsors, the BNP Paribas, for their continued support of the Fed Cup and women's tennis. They're represented here this evening by Ms. Barbara Kovac, the Chief of Staff and Head of Communications for BNP Paribas Hungary, and Mr. Vincent Baptiste Clousson, Head of BNP Paribas International Sponsorship. The new Fed Cup format gives more teams than ever before the chance to be crowned world champions each year. With Hungary, France, Australia and the Czech Republic already qualified, this past weekend saw 16 nations go head-to-head to battle it out for the remaining 8 places at the finals. Well, let's take a look back at the teams in action.
Team USA can officially celebrate.
Sails the Swiss into the Fed Cup final.
Spain, who are going through the inaugural Fed Cup final.
Wow, fantastic. Well, 2020 is set to be a game changer for this historic competition. The new format will make the Fed Cup bigger, better and bolder than ever before, giving women's tennis the global platform it deserves. To reflect on the changes and what they mean for the sport, we'd like to welcome International Tennis Federation President David Haggerty to the stage. Welcome, David, at this very, very exciting draw. This is a new era for the Fed Cup by BNP Paribas. So what do those changes mean for tennis?
Well, 2020 is an exciting year. It will be an evolution of the Fed Cup. We had the first round, but this year we had 116 teams competing at the beginning of the year for 12 teams to come here to Budapest in 9 weeks for the finals. So it's really exciting to see that we have equal prize money for the Fed Cup finals, like in Davis Cup. Women's tennis is very strong, and we're excited to be here in April for the finals.
We certainly are. And of course, it's just over 2 months away until the event. So what do you think we can expect?
Well, I think you can expect an incredible week. We know that Budapest is a great city. It has a great history. But also it's very modern in so many ways. And I think that Budapest will show off its great side when people come here. It'll be great for the fans. It'll be great for the players. So we're really excited about that. And Budapest has hosted for us before the Junior Fed Cup by BNP Paribas, which is great. So we know they have the history. And in fact, many of those young players will be competing here in April. So it's exciting that Fed Cup gives us the possibility to really invest into sport, to give the nations the ability to develop the next generation of players. And finally, I'd like to thank the NSA, also the Hungarian Tennis Association, and of course BNP Paribas for their support in making this such a great event.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, David. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of the evening. Now, our next guest really needs no introduction. A former world number 1 and 12-time Grand Slam singles champion. She's no stranger to the Fed Cup, winning 7 times as a player and 4 times as a captain. She's also a global icon, a pioneer for inclusion and equality, and a founder of the WTA. In 1970, she was one of 9 women who risked everything to take a stand for equal rights in tennis. Known as the Original 9, they took a leap of faith that led to the formation of the WTA and ultimately paved the way for what we have here today. Please welcome to the stage the Fed Cup Global Ambassador, Billie Jean King. Lovely to see you. Welcome, Billie Jean, and of course such an honour to have you here this evening on such a wonderful event. It's the 50th anniversary since the Original 9. So what's changed in women's tennis since then? That's a big question, I know.
Everything. Back in 1970, tennis was a professional sport for 2 years by then, but women were finding less and less opportunities. So 9 of us signed a $1 contract with Gladys Hellman, who was the editor of World Tennis Magazine, just to take a chance to see if we could start something. And our dream was that any girl born in the world, if she's good enough, would have a place to compete. Number 2, that she'd be appreciated for her accomplishments, not only her looks. And number 3, to be able to make a living. Those are the 3 things, our dream for the future and for the future generations. And to your point, 2 years later, 3 years later, we started the WTA, and now we have a huge tour, and it's very gratifying to see what's happened through the years. And of course, the young ones will have to shape the future. But the women today are living our dream, and that's what makes me really happy.
Absolutely. You must be so incredibly proud. Now, I know you told me earlier today that you played in the very first Fed Cup many years ago.
It was so exciting. In 1963, which was the inaugural year, the first year, I was 18 years old, and I got to represent the United States of America. Darlene Hard and Carol Caldwell were my teammates, and I kept saying to them all week, we have to win so our name will be first on the cup. Look at this cup. It's so beautiful. We have to be the first, so many years later we can look at it and see that we were the first. I kept telling we have to win. It was so close. We barely beat Australia, Margaret Smith and Leslie Turner, and it was just so close. And there were only 16 teams when we started, and it was in London, and it rained, so we had to go indoors. But it was one of the most thrilling moments of my life. I always loved to represent my country, and Fed Cup has grown through the years, 116 teams versus 16 in 63, and just to see where it's gone thanks to the ITF and getting $20 million for 3 years. And Budapest people have been amazing. I've only been here a day and a half, and the people are so kind, they're so smart, and they're so good. They're so helpful. And the museum, it's just stunning. It is stunning. I could spend weeks in here, and it's just the architecture, and of course it's always the people that make the difference, and they're wonderful, and I want to thank each and every one of them for having this event the next 3 years.
Absolutely, it is a very special place. I wanted to pick up on what you've just, some of what you've just said, because of course this is a team competition, and you know better than anyone, as you've just tried to explain, what makes representing your country and a team competition so special.
It's very different because when you play the first point, and I think, did you play?
Yes.
Then you played for Great Britain. I knew you were a great player. I just didn't know if you got to play. You were number 1, I know, in Britain. I know at least that. So I know you played, but there's nothing.
Enough of that.
That's all right. We've got to give you a bad time. There's nothing like when you hear 15 love Great Britain or USA or Hungary for your team. Then you go, you get so tight. Your country. It's not your name, it's your country. And it really hits you then. And your I remember my heart pounded and my stomach got all wheezy. And I thought, oh, wow, I got to really play well. I'm representing something bigger than myself. And that, for me, I've always loved team, and I love representing my country. So this is perfect for my personality, and I just love to be a part of it.
Yes, and so does everybody else. Now, I've got to get this right. The new Fed Cup boasts the largest annual prize money fund in women's sports. It is quite extraordinary. So how significant is that, not just for women's tennis, but for sport in general?
Women's tennis has always been the leader in women's sports. We have led since the beginning, when actually the 9 of us. That's when it started, and we are 50 years old this year. But it's significant because it's about equality. It's equal with the Davis Cup, as David said. It sends a very strong message that we're worth just as much. That if you have 2 children at home, I hope you don't give your boy more allowance than your daughter. But it's really to tell us women in the world that we're worth it, we deserve it, and we have to earn it too. Everybody has to. But I'm really excited, and I just thank Hungary and Budapest and everyone that's involved that David mentioned, that this is an amazing opportunity. And what we really want to do, too, is to help tennis in Hungary. We want these next 3 years to truly make a difference with the young people, to give them more inspiration, to maybe create more opportunities. But we want to use that, not just because it's international, but it's a platform to help local and the country's tennis. And I hope that's what will help in that area too. Because I was talking to some younger ones earlier, and it's a lot of hope, and we have a lot of great former players here.
Absolutely. Well, talking of younger ones, we're going to get some of them up on stage. So don't go away. Stay right there. And thank you so much, Billie Jean. I know you're going to enjoy the rest of it, but stay on the stage because some youngsters would like to meet you. Okay. Billie Jean King, ladies and gentlemen. Stay there. Now it's time to turn our attention to the draw for the Fed Cup by BNP Paribas Finals 2020. The reason that we're all here tonight. We'd like to ask this evening referee Claire Wood to join us on stage. Welcome, Claire.
Thank you.
Now, to draw the teams tonight, we would also like to welcome 8 of Hungary's most promising junior players. Kitty Molnár, Melinda Biro, Stella Moyo, Esther Kisarko, Luca Udvardi, Vanessa Dalmadanko, Anna Cantor, and Panna Bata. Please give them another warm round of applause. And we'd now also like to thank Billie Jean King, and we'd like to take your seat, Billie. Thank you very much. Over to you, Claire.
Thank you, Annabelle. First of all, I'd like to introduce the 12 qualified nations competing here in the Fed Cup finals in Budapest in April. In nations ranking order, the number 1 ranked team is France.
Current holders. Victory over Australia last year saw them claim a 3rd Fed Cup title, one of only 4 nations to have competed in Fed Cup every year since the competition began in 1963.
Followed by Australia.
2019 Fed Cup runners-up, Australia have won the title on 7 occasions, putting them 3rd on the all-time list for most Fed Cup titles. But their most recent triumph was 46 years ago, in 1974.
And the USA.
The 3rd seeds have won the Fed Cup title on 18 occasions, more than any other nation. They've also won more Fed Cup ties than any other nation in history, 153 in total.
And the Czech Republic.
Czech Republic are 11-time Fed Cup champions, and they've dominated the competition in recent years thanks to a golden generation of players, claiming the title in 6 of the last 9 years.
Then we have Belarus.
Belarus have played in the competition since 1994 and have fully established themselves as members of the Fed Cup elite, in recent years reaching the final in 2017 and the semi-finals in 2019.
Followed by Germany.
Germany are two-time Fed Cup champions, winning in 1987 and 1992. Their best performance in recent years saw them reach the 2014 final, where they were defeated 3-1 by the Czech Republic.
And Russia.
Russia were one of the dominant forces in the competition during the 2000s, winning the title on 4 occasions. They defeated Romania 3-2 in the qualifiers to secure their place at the finals.
Followed by Spain.
Spain are 5-time Fed Cup champions, with all of their past triumphs coming in the 1990s. They were in impressive form in the qualifiers, defeating Japan 3-1, and are currently on a 4-tie winning streak.
We then have Slovakia.
Slovakia were crowned Fed Cup champions in 2002, defeating Spain in the final. Just 8 years after they first appeared in the competition, they defeated Great Britain 3-1 on home soil to book their spot in the finals.
And also Switzerland.
The Swiss team's best performance came in 1998, when the team of Martina Hingis and Patti Schnieder finished runners-up to Spain. More recently, they made back-to-back semi-finals in 2016 and 2017.
And Belgium.
Champions in 2001, when a team including Justine Henin and Kim Clijsters defeated Russia in the final. They defeated Kazakhstan 3-1 last weekend to qualify for the finals.
And finally, the host nation, Hungary.
Hosts Hungary are two-time Fed Cup quarter-finalists in 1963 and 1985. More recently, they contested the World Group in both 2001 and 2002.
Thank you. Now, to start the draw, we'll take our 4 highest-ranked nations and place them into each group. And we'll start with France, the number 1 ranked nation, on line 1 in Group A. The number 2 ranked nation, Australia, will go into Group B. The number 3 ranked nation, the USA, will head up Group C. And for Group D, the number 4 ranked nation, the Czech Republic. We're now going to take the next ranked nations from 5 to 8, place them into the trophy, and ask the girls to help us draw out who will be filling the groups. So we have here the nations ranked from 5 to 8. Ready, girls? Good. Thank you. So if you could kindly please draw the first nation out for Group A to join France. Thank you. And the first nation out is Russia. Russia will be placed on line 2 in Group A. Thank you. And the second nation out is Belarus. Belarus in Group B. Thank you. And the third nation out is Spain. Spain to go in Group C with the USA. Thank you. Thank you very much. Final one of this group is Germany. Germany to join the Czech Republic in Group D. We will now take the remaining nations, ranked from 9 to 12, place them in the trophy, and get the girls to help me draw them out again. If you could kindly take the first nation, please. Thank you. And to join France and Russia in Group A, we have Hungary. Thank you. Thank you. And for Group B, we have Belgium. Belgium to join Australia and Belarus in Group B. Thank you. And for Group C, we have Slovakia. Slovakia on line 3 in Group C. And the final nation out, please. Thank you very much. Is Switzerland. Switzerland makes up the Group D with Czech Republic and Germany. The winners of the group ties will all progress through to the semi-final stages. The semi-final draw has been completed and is as follows. The winner of Group A will play the winner of Group C, and the winner of Group B will play the winner of Group D. And now that we have completed the draw, the schedule will be available on Monday.
Thank you very much, Claire. Very exciting stuff. Well, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. The draw has been concluded and the groups are set. The 12 captains will no doubt be spending the next 2 months making frantic preparations to ready themselves and their teams for the challenge ahead. And we're delighted to be joined by 2 of those captains tonight, Gabor Juhas of Hungary and Johan van Hoek of Belgium. I'm going to come and have a quick word with you. If I could just ask you to stand up. Welcome to both of you. Please stand up. Yes, let's get you around here. Let's give them a warm welcome. Thank you. Gabor, I'll start with you. How excited are you that this wonderful event is going to be held here in your home country?
Yes, I am very happy for it to be a host of this amazing event, Fed Cup final, and give me a time to have a look at the draw. Amazing group. Yes, amazing group, but I think we are already the winner. And why? Because really we are hosting this amazing event in, I think, and I'm very sorry, but one of the most beautiful cities of the world, and I think with the most beautiful team members.
Absolutely, absolutely. And how are you going to be preparing them all for this event?
Yeah, the preparing, we will start in few weeks because the girls are around the world and on the tour, but I have first organize everything with my team. I mean not with the girls, but with the managers, etc. Let me see what will be.
Absolutely, a lot of work to do. Now, Johan, let's have a word with you. Now, of course, congratulations, first of all, for making it through to the finals here. Just describe for everyone what that journey's been like to make the finals.
I mean, I think it was pretty amazing. I think all the girls were very excited to play the Fed Cup. We had a great time in Belgium last week, having our supporters there, great organization, and it was a great time with some high-level tennis, so very happy to qualify and to be here.
I'm sure you are, and of course you've got Australia and Belarus. We've just witnessed that draw, so just give us your thoughts and your reaction to that draw.
I mean, all groups are tough. I think we have a good team. I think the other 2 teams are really well as well, but we're going to prepare well, and we'll see. We know from the past that in Fed Cup or in Davis Cup everything is possible, so we believe that we can play well, that we can do well in Fed Cup, so we're going to prepare well and be ready in April.
Fantastically positive attitude. Well, thank you so much for speaking to us here tonight, and we wish you both the very best of luck. Thank you. Well, Budapest will provide the perfect setting for this historic new chapter of the Fed Cup. To hear what it means for the city and for Hungary, would we now like to welcome to the stage the State Secretary for Sport, Tunda Szabo.
Thank you. Dear Mr. President, dear guests, dear athletes, ladies and gentlemen, I am very happy that you are here in Hungary. Let me warmly welcome you on this outstanding occasion, which is the first great stage of the Fed Cup finals in Budapest. Your presence in our country is a fine proof that Hungary is already in the sports global map. We are really proud that the International Tennis Federation has chosen Hungary as the host of the newly shaped final tournament. The ITF leaders deserve our credits for making the maximum effort to transform this sport with such rich traditions in order to answer the challenges of the present-day sports market and set up fresh, modern formats for their top events. I can assure you right now that the Hungarian organisers will do their utmost to create a perfect environment for this Fed Cup final. I strongly believe that the final will offer great memories for each and every participant, and it will also serve as a perfect feedback for you that it was worth reshaping the Cup finals and turn them into a fine celebration of women's tennis. The Hungarian government is committed to support sports and its major international sports events of the highest quality. In recent years, we staged a series of great competitions, World and European Championships, and this trend continues also in this year. We host many brilliant events, and the Fed Cup finals take a very special place as it's true value among the meets in the current season. Tennis is one of the most highly ranked sports globally, and it enjoys a fine popularity in Hungary today. And I do think this event will be such an outstanding success this each and every participant shall feel herself a winner. And this win-win approach really applies to the ITF and to the Hungarian tennis, let alone to the national sports. It's almost impossible to line up all the benefits, which will make all of us reach much richer by the end of this event. Thank you for your kind attention, and congratulations to everyone. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Tunde. And now please welcome Secretary of State for Budapest Development and Major International Sports Events and Chairman of the Local Organising Committee, Balázs Fejes. Thank you.
Distinguished guests, dear tennis friends, when selecting Budapest as the inaugural host of the brand new format ITF Fed Cup event, the International Tennis Federation declared it is time for Budapest, or in ITF words, Destination Budapest. President Haggerty, we fully agree with you and thank you for the choice. Budapest is a leading sports capital, a global sports capital. Budapest is meant for major international events. We are in the heart of Europe, easily accessible, and great value for money. Economy is booming, culture is flourishing. Budapest is beautiful, safe, and secure. Hungarians are sport-loving, and we are trusted and proven partners of international sport bodies. Yes, Budapest is delivering. We are delivering world-class venues and great events, be it the FINA World Champs, the World Athletics Championships, the new generation-focused World Urban Games, or the UEFA Eurocup 2020 tournament in the brand new Puskás Arena. And, this time, the International Tennis Federation Fed Cup inaugural 2020 edition. By bringing to life this new, exciting format and by emphasizing equal chances and conditions for women and men, we are happy to create a sports revolution again, together with the International Tennis Federation and together with the leading players of the world. Thank you very much for selecting Budapest. Thank you very much for your kind attention.
Thank you very much, Balázs. Well, we saw at the weekend just how much it means to players to compete for their country. They will all have a huge role to play this April, so let's hear from some of them now.
We're Team USA,
and we'll see you in Budapest.
We are Team Switzerland, and we'll see you in Budapest.
We are Team Spain. Vamos!
See you in Budapest.
See you in Budapest.
See you in Budapest. See you in Budapest.
We are Team USA, and we'll see you in Budapest.
We'll see you in Budapest.
See you in Budapest.
See you in Budapest.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, the stage is set. 1 week, 1 city, 12 teams, and only one can be crowned world champion. All that remains is to say thank you to everybody here tonight and to those watching at home, and to remind you that tickets are now on sale via fedcup.com. We'll see you all at the Laszlo Papp Budapest Sports Arena from the 14th of April. Thank you very much and a very good evening. Thank you.